Employee retention tax credit fraud is big news and is concerning for lots of people, especially for the IRS, who's paying very close attention. Recently, the IRS warned employers to be very cautious with third-party companies such as ERTC promoters who are advising them to claim the employee retention credit when they may not actually qualify. Some of these ERC promoters are taking improper positions related to taxpayer eligibility for and computation of the credit. These third parties or ERC pop-up companies often charge large upfront fees or a fee that is contingent on the amount of the refund and may not properly inform taxpayers that if the business filed an income tax return deducting wage payments before it filed an amended payroll tax return claiming the credit, then the business should file an amended income tax return to correct any overstated wage deduction. That was a mouthful. Additionally, businesses should be very cautious of advertised schemes and direct solicitations promising tax savings that sound too good to be true. Be advised that taxpayers are always responsible for the information reported on their tax returns. Improperly claiming the employee retention credit could result in taxpayers being required to repay the credit along with penalties and interest. In this video, I'll go over the top 5 signs of an employee retention tax credit scam, which not surprisingly are also IRS Audit Red Flags. Stay until the end and I'll show you how you can report ERC fraud to the IRS, and in the event proceeds are collected, you can be awarded anywhere from 15 to 30% of the finder's fee. Hi, I'm Noel Lorenzana, your friendly neighborhood accountant. Follow me for important public service announcements just like this one. So the first sign that you're dealing with a sketchy ERC promoter is, number 1, promises of a huge refund. We've all seen the ads and heard the radio commercials. If you have employees and your business was disrupted by the pandemic, then you may be eligible for up to $26,000 per employee. We've been getting hundreds of thousands of dollars in tax refunds for our clients. We work directly with the IRS on your behalf, and the best part, it costs you nothing. Call now to claim your free money. If it sounds too good to be true, then it probably is. Professionals who are best qualified to do this work for you are not pushy salespeople. They're bean counters who probably don't get out much. Seriously, if an ERC company is making bold claims and has an emphasis on selling you on their company and services, then you might just want to listen to your gut instinct and stay very far away. These ERC promoters try to entice you with huge refunds and easy qualifications, but fail to help clients understand how they actually qualify for the ERC. They invariably leave their duped clients completely unprepared to explain or justify their ERC eligibility in an IRS audit. And trust me, the IRS is going after ERC fraud like it's nobody's business. The second sign of an ERC scam is stretching the qualification rules. As a reminder, the ERC or Employee Retention Tax Credit was a program designed to incentivize small businesses to keep full-time employees on payroll during the pandemic instead of laying them off. If an ERC promoter tells you that you're pre-qualified without reviewing your financial information and circumstances, then you should be very wary. The rules to qualify are complex. There are 2 main rules to qualify for ERC, the gross revenue test and the suspension test. Many ERC pop-up shops are qualifying companies for the employee retention credit based on invalid suspension test criteria, such as CDC guidelines, which do not fulfill the government mandate requirement. They also incorrectly assume that supplier shutdowns automatically equals ERC eligibility. It's more complicated than that. Just be very wary of companies oversimplifying the qualification rules. The third sign of an ERC scam is lack of qualifications. So there's no real requirement to be a CPA, lawyer, or tax professional to do employee retention tax credits, but I think there should be. So basically, anyone can hang up a sign and say they specialize in ERC tax credits, and that's precisely what's happening. For me personally, I'd feel much better dealing with someone with professional credentials and an established company. Do your due diligence. If someone says they're a CPA, take a minute to verify their credentials. You can do this quickly at cpaverify.com. Here's my verification and how it's done. It just takes a minute. If the company says that their CPA reviews all the calculations, get their name, verify their information, and that they work for the company, you'd be surprised by the unethical behavior going on with regards to the ERC tax credit. Maybe also confirm with their state to ensure they've been in business for more than a few years and that their business is somewhat related to taxes or accounting. For most states, you can do this online. The fourth sign of an ERC scam is not preparing the amended tax returns. So claiming the ERC is a two-step process. The first step is determining if you in fact qualify. Presuming that you do, great. The second step is amending the 941 quarterly payroll tax returns. That's straightforward enough. The problem is that many of these ERC promoters won't prepare the amended payroll tax returns. They'll ask you to find someone else to prepare them. You have to ask yourself, why is this? Could it be that they don't want the legal liability that goes along with signing an IRS tax form? Or could it be that they don't know how to actually complete the tax form since they're not a tax company? I don't know. Decide for yourself. Actually finding someone reputable who'll prepare and sign off on the amended payroll tax returns can be difficult. If you find someone, read the fine print on the contract or engagement letter. They probably say they're not responsible for the eligibility calculation. On the other side, the ERC promoter probably says in their contract that they're not responsible either and that the taxpayer has the ultimate responsibility. Bottom line, read the contract before signing anything. This is reported to be a $2 trillion fraud investigation by the IRS. The fifth sign of an ERTC scam is promises of ERC pre-qualification. I hear these stories all the time. Client says that someone told them they're pre-qualified for the employee retention credit. Listen up, this isn't like pre-qualifying for a mortgage. While you can make some educated guesses about a company's eligibility, any reputable company would avoid making a determination without having reviewed a company's financial information and examining their specific circumstances. Don't fall for the pre-qualification sales technique. They try to get you in the door, enticing you with the possibility of large tax refunds. To be eligible for the ERC, there are two main tests, the gross revenue test and the suspension test. I won't read it here, but you can read it for yourself for reference purposes. If you or someone you know is a victim of an ERC scam, you can report them to the Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration at 1-800-366-4484. To report tax-related illegal activities related to ERC claims, you can also submit Form 3949-A Information Referral, as shown here. That is, if you suspect an individual or business is not complying with ERC tax laws, the IRS doesn't take tax law violation referrals over the phone, and they will keep your identity confidential when you file a tax fraud report. In general, the IRS will pay an award of at least 15%, but not more than 30% of the proceeds collected attributable to the information submitted by the whistleblower. And if you're able to get an award for reporting ERC tax fraud, don't forget about me. All kidding aside, just be aware of what these ERC tax credit promoters are doing and how to detect the signs of an ERC scam. And most importantly, don't forget to read the fine print. On a related note, check out this video here where I talk about the IRS auditing ERC tax credit fraud. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Be sure to like the video if you received value and hit the subscribe button to stay connected. As always, thanks for watching and see you in the next video.